right, for the car coaster, so I recommend warming your resin rockers UV resin in a bottle warmer or a warm glass of water. That way it makes the resin nice and runny when you are casting. So that is one of the things that I recommend before you get started. Now for this, we're going to need our glitter. I'm using the Glamorous glitter that came in your box, and you're going to need a silicone cup so that we can mix our glitter and our resin. So we're gonna go ahead and we are going to add about 3/4 of the way with resin. Now we're gonna have to do this a couple times unless you have a bigger silicone cup. So I want to at least give you guys an idea on how much you will need for this project. So let's go ahead and take our glitter, and we're going to very carefully add a little bit to this cup. You guys are going to love this color. It's so pretty, and it is one of my all-time favorites. I think this is probably going to become a product because I love it so much. All right, so we are going to go ahead and stir this up, and then we are going to start adding it to our mold. Isn't that so pretty? I love it. All right, so we're gonna start in the middle. We're gonna go ahead and pour that. Use your silicone brush to kind of empty your cup as you go. And that filled most of the mold already. So you don't have to go overboard on your next batch. I would say go about halfway. We're going to add a little bit more glitter. And then stir that in. And pour that into the mold as well. Now, it's important to make sure that it levels out all the way and that you're not overfilling it, because what you don't want is a curved top. You don't want it to be too curved, because then your cup won't sit correctly. So just make sure that you are looking at it from the side and making sure that it's not over full. Once you get it in there, I prefer on a mold to use a lighter, so we're going to use a lighter to get rid of any surface bubbles here. And then we're going to go ahead and cure. Now, with a mold, when you're casting something like this, it's important to cure it slower. You want it to do a slow cure so that it keeps that shape. So we're gonna move over the magic cure. I am going to start at the 6 watts for 60 seconds. I'm sorry, 12 watts for 60 seconds. And then I'm going to bump the wattage up from there. So we're going to do this for about 20 seconds. Then I'm gonna bump it up to 15 watts. Then we're gonna bump it up to 18 watts. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. All right, so now I'm going to flip this over, and we are going to cure for 60 seconds, and I'm just going in at the 24 watts. The initial cure is the most important when you're bumping up wattage, to keep it nice and cool in there. For the second side, I always bump the wattage up or leave it at 24 watts. All right, so we have cured this for the 60 seconds on both sides, and I have let this sit to cool off for a few minutes. So now it's good to go. So we're gonna go ahead and take this out of the mold and show you what it looks like with the Glamorous glitter. So let's do it. Oh yeah, it's beautiful. So this should fit in any standard cup holder, and you guys can add vinyl to it. You can do all kinds of stuff to customize it. I see that I have a little bit of runnage right here. If you have any little runnage from your mold, you can just use, like I said, some flush cutters and just kind of trim around it. You can sand it, you can use your deburring tool, whatever you have on hand, just to trim it away. But other than that, it's perfect.